I get asked that a lot, and I can still remember the look on my wife's face when I went in there and I said, if I don't do this, I cannot live with myself. And the reason I did it was I didn't want to win. I'll be honest with you. What I wanted was to get my cases out of Judge Edwards' court. I wasn't treated very well in there. I had done a murder trial in 2006 and been threatened with jail every day for 2 weeks. And at a certain point, you just say, I've had enough. I'm going to try and do something to change it. Whether or not it works, I don't know. And that's where I was. I had gone to a friend's Christmas party, and Judge Edwards was there, and he hadn't had an opponent file yet, and we were 2 days away from the last day of filing for the election. And Judge Edwards looked at me and basically just kind of smiled, and I walked past him, and I'm not going to repeat what I said, but anyway, I didn't think I was going to win. I wasn't really, I don't want to say I wasn't trying to win. I was trying to win, but it wasn't, unlike with the elections we see today, it wasn't an ugly campaign. I didn't feel like it was in my best interest to get down in the mud. It's not my personality. Judge Edwards had done some fantastic stuff over the 20 years that he was in office, and who am I to take away from that? But I felt like it was time for a change. And so I went in and I had this long conversation with my wife, and we had to sell our house. We sold our fancy cars. We basically downsized, knowing this was going to be financially devastating to us for me to do this. So we got prepared. And I worked hard. I mean, you know, I had a lady ask me the other day, said, well, you didn't really work that hard to get elected. You were pretty lucky. And it's like, no, I worked hard. That election, if you'll remember, this was 4 years ago, went from, we were supposed to have the preliminaries, the first go-round of voting in March, just like this year. But redistricting had happened, and lines were redrawn, and there was a lawsuit pending. So our election ran an additional 2.5 months, and it was exhausting. I mean, we were going to 2 and 3 functions a day. Just doing that, being away from your family, your work is suffering, your job is suffering, your income is suffering. It was very, very hard. And I'm not the type of person where I like to sit up in front of a group and say, hey, look at me, look at me. And that's what you kind of have to do when you're running for office. It takes a special person to want to step up and put your life in front of everybody for examination because you think you have a better way of doing something.